Engineering the wall. With all this talk about prototype walls, I think it's time a real engineer puts in his 2 cents. Hi, I'm Duncan Willoughby. I got some great ideas for this wall, so sit tight and enjoy the ride. The first thing we have to appreciate about this wall is its magnitude. The US-Mexico border is just massive. It spans practically half the width of the continental United States, and while much of it runs along the Rio Grande, almost half of it doesn't. The nearly 2,000-mile international border follows the middle of the Rio Grande, quote, along its deepest channel, unquote, from its mouth in the Gulf of Mexico, a distance of 1,254 miles, to a point just upstream of El Paso and Ciudad Juarez. It then follows an alignment westward, overland, and marked by monuments a distance of 533 miles to the Colorado River. From there, it follows the middle of that river northward a distance of 24 miles, and then it again follows an alignment westward, overland, and marked by monuments a distance of 141 miles to the Pacific Ocean. So you see, any wall that would span the border would have to deal with all sorts of terrain. Thus, there's no one wall design that'll meet all design criteria for the entire border. Just check out the elevation profile. For roughly 2/3 of the border, it follows a nearly constant slope as the Rio Grande winds its way downhill. The river itself actually forms a natural border with deep recesses in many parts and farmland in other, so we probably don't need to enhance this region too much at all. But the paths through the desert fluctuate wildly in elevation and natural features, thus any border wall needs to utilize a handful of my designs. For example, here I propose a wall of turbines. Yes, it's exactly what it looks like, a wall of wind turbines. Except these turbines have blades that dip into recesses on the ground, cutting up anything or anyone who's trying to get by. Here it is in profile. See how this design, coupled with a sloped wall and small barbed wire fence, would deter migrants from making any attempt to pass? Plus, with enough of these, we can convert the border wall into a moneymaker. I call it a Type T design for turbine. Next, I propose a shredder design, Type S. In this design, a giant shredder wheel, like that you'd find in a paper shredder or a car shredder, is running continuously at the top edge of an overhung wall. The overhang makes it impossible to climb the wall without a ladder. But you can't use a ladder because resting it on the top edge of the wall will get it shredded. Genius! Then, if they somehow manage to bypass my tip shredder, they'll have to cross the pit shredder, a continuously running pair of shredder wheels that will grind up anything, or anyone, that falls in. Then, if they somehow manage to bypass that, they'll have to climb a nearly vertical wall over that shredder, but without a ladder, that's a fool's errand. And if you're wondering where all this energy is going to come from for these continuously running shredders, we could slap in some wind turbines for good measure. But what if we could repurpose existing infrastructure to create a border wall? What if we built a highway? Just ask any Angelino. Nothing is more difficult to pass than a freeway in rush hour traffic. It already has existing walls to mitigate noise, plus a center divider. And we've got highway patrol and everything. All we need to do is seal off those sound walls, maybe make them higher, and you got a tortuous path no migrant would dare to pass. But Duncan, what if the freeway isn't full? What about those uninhabited stretches of the border? Well, if we design the freeway like the Autobahn with 100+ mile/hour capacity and eliminate speed limits and eliminate any penalty for vehicular manslaughter, then undesirable migrants wouldn't dare to cross it at any time. I call it Design Type H for highway. But what if we can use even bigger infrastructure? What's bigger than a highway? Well, we already have a river. Let's just tame that river, maybe even extend it and build Design Type C, a canal. That's right, Americans built the Panama Canal, so why not build the Pan-American Canal? And we'll make it wide enough for bidirectional traffic from even the biggest cargo and cruise ships. Again, if we make it busy enough, any migrant who is able to climb its wall will have to swim across the canal with his rope and ladder, missing the boats, then climb another wall where patrol officers will be waiting to arrest him and send him back. But why stop there? If we're already pouring concrete, let's combine Type C and Type H. We'll throw our American Autobahn onto both sides of the canal, and we'll even throw in some subways, one for super high-speed transit and another for freight trains. We can even embed some pipes and rent them out to the oil and water companies. Plus, we can line the south side of the American side of the wall with solar panels. This way, we can get boating industry, the light and heavy rail industries, the oil and water industries, all to make proportional investments into the wall, so the final bill doesn't hit hard-working American taxpayers. Or Mexico. We can even build reservoirs and treatment plants to ensure a reliable and economic water supply for the southern United States. In this way, we can build both a city and an economy from the wall. And let me tell you, ain't nobody crossing that thing. Better yet, we can even combine all my ideas. First, they'll have to pass the shredder, then the wind turbines, then the shredder pit. Then they'll have to climb a wall, cross a multi-lane highway, descend into a canal, swim across it, climb up a second wall, cross a second multi-lane highway, and descend a steep wall into America, where Border Patrol will be waiting to arrest them and send them back. So let me know if you agree with me. Which type is your favorite? Got any better ideas? How much do you think this will all cost? Check out my 10-minute Google flyover of the border where I point out some natural features and give you my thoughts on which of my designs belong where. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell icon, and share this with your friends. I'm drafting a budget for these ideas, so maybe one day I can make a presentation to the White House. Wouldn't that be something? I'm Duncan Willoughby, and as always, I'm smarter than you.